Welcome to the Point 101. I'm your host, Gail, and today we're diving deep into a topic that touches the heart of every parent and guardian: God's promises for our children. Join me. Hello. All righty. Hello. Do I have an echo? Is it you?
No.
Yes, hold on 1 second and let me just. I know I need to have that. Hold tight. Okay. You sure that's not you?
What? The beeping sound?
The echo.
No, I ain't got no echo over here. It's sweet as pie over here. There's no echo over here. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm.
I don't know why I'm hearing an echo.
Anyway, hello everyone. It's Sweet Lips and Sister Sledge. We're gonna reverse it. It's Sweet Lips and oh Sister Sledge. We having little echo difficulty, so stand by and the sister gonna get it right. Until then, how everyone doing? Hope everybody doing fine. Hope your family doing fine. Hope you're feeling healthy. I know I am. And let's get it on. Today's topic is, we ain't gonna tell you yet. The sister gonna lay it on you. Right now, this is live. We got to fix some things because the
Yes,
man
yes,
trying to cut us off. You know what I mean? The man trying to cut us off. Sometimes it's hard to pay those bills when you put a little something on it.
are you on your computer or are you on your phone?
I'm on a computer. I'm on my laptop.
Is your phone on?
No. You be trying your best to try to. No.
Hello, Marie. Good evening.
Hello, sis. Good evening. And how are you doing, pretty lady? Fine.
See, there's an
Good.
echo and
I
it's
know
throwing
you
me
are
off.
doing fine. It's not over here, sis. I got nothing. So how you doing, Marie? How you doing, young lady?
I am I am confused
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I hear an echo.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear you saying mm-hmm twice.
No, I do not.
Marie, can you tell us if you hear an echo? I'm hearing an echo. Now, did you just hear me say it again?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm hearing no echo. I'm telling you.
I hear an
See?
echo.
Nah, it's that tea you drinking. It's that tea with the ripple in it. You got some ripple.
No, you didn't go old school and say. Marie says she don't hear an
I'm
echo.
telling you, I don't hear no echo.
I'm hearing an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me just figure out something real quick. Because I am telling you guys, I hear an echo. And it's going to drive me insane.
I know it is. I know how that feeling is, but no echo over here.
Oh, let me see if that fixed it. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I'm telling you, I hear an echo. We don't, and I'm watching you guys. No, you better not be, you better have nothing on your end.
I got you want me to spin around and say I got nothing. Nothing. Nothing nowhere. There's nothing on. I never have nothing on when I'm on. It's somewhere over there, but I don't hear no echo.
But if I go up and then come back on, that means I
Oh,
have to
yeah,
do
we
this.
ain't doing.
I have to send out
We
99
don't hear it.
notifications
If
all over again.
if we don't hear it, it should be just fine.
Let me see if I hear it. Let me know. Let me go to my computer and I am going to turn it on and see if I hear it.
See,
Because I'm gonna have to give somebody a whooping and I don't even see who it is.
see, this is why we let y'all know out there, our constituents, that this is live action. You know, this ain't no phony baloney. This is live in action. This is how we do it. This is this real technical difficulty.
Okay, yeah, I don't hear echo through here. I just hear the echo.
Maybe you got too many things in front of you that's having feedback.
It's not. It's something that
Yeah.
it could just be. No, it's nothing that's on. Everything is turned down except this.
See,
And then if I turn this down,
but
then
you're
I don't
freezing
hear
up
you.
every now and then too, though. So it could be like you freezing up and you getting that when it freezes, you getting that back, whatever.
I know who it is. It's the little redhead boy in there playing games and stuff and using up my data. But we're going to get it going. We're going. How is everyone doing? Let me just give you a form or another one, okay? It's Sledge here, and my little brother, Sweetness, the sweetest in the West.
And we talking sweet enough to rot your teeth out. I'm
I
sweet.
just want to go, give it a feedback, but I don't hear it, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So anyway, how are you all doing? I heard you was missing us, so we here now. I heard you were missing the sweetness. Hey, I'm just saying what I see and what I hear, what's going on in it. I don't even know. Those of you who have done recordings know what it is that I am saying and what it is that I am going through right now. I feel like I'm suffering. But if you don't hear it on your end, we're gonna continue. So
where's our other sidekick at?
I text. I text. Hold on a second. So from the title, you know that we are still praying for our children. Why? Because it seems like every time, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the news, one of our children is being taken away from us. And what is coming to my attention that we're going to actually have a conversation about, because I think it was very, very sad when I heard about this, is I wish I remember her name. I know that the child was 3 years old and she went to go a first time spending Christmas holiday with her father. And even though it took place and it's all over social media, we're going to continue to just use the word allegedly, okay? We're just going to say allegedly. So she went to the father's, and 3 years old, allegedly, he had two dogs, 2 or 3 dogs that were picked. And the little girl slept on the couch, and he was in his room asleep. And somehow that poor baby got mauled. He said he woke up, the child was no longer alive. Now, let's just say this, because these are the things that we need to have this conversation about. Because we keep saying that we have to get better the way we parent our children. And we're not trying to tell you how to parent your child, but we will continue to talk about why it takes a village. Now, if you have a child that young, and this is just common sense, okay? If you have a child that young, 3 years old, and the mother said she was not aware that the father had these type of animals in his home, but 3 year olds around any type of animal that's not used to them and they're not used to, you must supervise them at all times. You have to supervise them at all times. Because if the dog is not used to a child that loves to touch and pull and bite and kick, that dog will feel as if their territory is being taken over. Do you think, Mel, was your dog on there?
Many,
what do you
many, many, many dogs from all breed, big to small. And here's what I'll say. I don't know what the situation is. I would assume that the mother and the dad don't live together.
The child is with the father.
So, okay, well, I assume the two parents are not living together in the same household. So if that's the case, then you're right. You don't have a full-grown dog that's not used to children around your child. You don't bring your child around, and then if you do, that dog is to be put up somewhere where that it's nowhere around the child whatsoever. Because to me, my point of view to you people out there, I figure this way, that's totally irresponsible, because the dog does not know the child. The child did not grow up. This was a child, a baby. So if you have this dog that you trained that's been around no kids, and the only time they are around the kids, say if you bring your child over, that's the only time the dog's around the child, you shouldn't even have the dog around a child even then, because that takes time, especially when the child does not live with you permanently. That takes time. So you should not have that done. Now, I feel sorry, and all the blessings in the world go out to this family for this accident that, let's say, could have been avoided, because as a dog animal owner, you should know this. I don't understand how people have these dogs, big, small, I don't care what size, and you know the dog was not brought up around children, your child, your baby. Why would you put a child in that situation? And you can't blame the dog. The animal's going to do what the animal's going to do. You don't do this. You put this dog away where it's nowhere around your child. None whatsoever. That's my opinion.
Now let's go a little deeper now, because in Southern California, there was, I believe, that child was 5, and she was around her dogs all her life, and they mauled her
I'm going to go back to this again.
all her life. Hello, John.
I just want to say this. Now, we talking about a different situation when the child was around this dog all her life and this is and that. Now, here's what I say to that, because that bothers me in the truck. Like I said, I had dogs around my children from the time my children was born. Dogs have been around my children. These dogs were brought up with my children. My children was actually taught to respect the dog, and it goes both ways. I trained very well, never had a problem with no kids that come into my household. None. It's hard for me to try to figure out why would that situation happen. And first of all, it don't even make a different kind of dogs these was. I just don't understand how someone, the child is brought up around an animal from a pup, and then this. I just don't understand how that happens. It happens, but I don't understand how, because that should never happen. Never. Dogs are used to protecting their own. That child that was raised with that dog is used to protecting that child. But to turn on that child, I don't get that situation at all. Was the child not taught to respect the dog? I mean, because you got some situations.
It goes back to me. It goes back to a child. I'm saying really, I would say 12 and under. 12 and under should never be left unsupervised with an animal that has the capability of attacking. To me, any animal can attack. But on both instances, I do believe that they said it was pit.
Okay.
Again, it's giving that pit a bad name, a bad rap.
I just want to say this. Any dog, any size, even a chihuahua can maul a child. So the dog, and then when people say pits is from a pit bull terrier to you name any kind of, all these dogs has been around for so many years, and you hear about all these things, and it's like, first of all, I never blame the dog. I blame the owner and how they bring up the dog. 2, not every, this is like a very rare thing that happened, because I say it again, when dogs are brought up around kids the proper way and kids know how to respect dogs are protectors of their family. Something has to go wrong, and that means that bringing up this child and raising this dog, someone slipped up somewhere. Because when you bring up a child around an animal, you teach the child how to respect the animal and vice versa. Dogs do what you train them to do, but they are family protectors of children and otherwise. Something had to go wrong somewhere. And that's what I just don't get. Pits, any dog just don't turn around and just attack their own family. It's a reason why it happened.
Marie said the way people are bringing up these dogs now is totally different. She said, but some dogs that grow up around babies are protected of the little children. Right? Some of them are protected.
Yes.
But then let me tell you the downside about this. Now, what we need to realize, and and really, and this is just going out to the parents that have young children around um, temperamental dogs. I want to say temperamental animals is that when a child goes to school and unlive another child. If they got that weapon from at home, the parents are solely responsible and can be charged. So when your dog maul your child, so does the law still stand in that same situation? You can be tried for what? Leaving a child unsupervised, having such an animal around your child. So, I mean, do you charge that parent with that child's um, unliving?
Okay, I want to say this. I want to say this. I know that you probably can charge the parent, and some parents, I don't know. I guess they should be charged. I don't know. I just think, like, even if you don't charge the parent, this is something that they will live with for the rest of their lives. Ain't nothing more worse than that. I mean, yeah, you could lock up, but ain't nothing more worse knowing that your animal mauled your child. That's something you live for the rest of it. But I want to say this too also. It's like what gets you anybody angry, and I understand what you're saying there, sis, is that because as an adult and a dog owner, you should know better. That's what gets you mad. You figure this is on you. You should know. This is your dog. You should know better. And to say, well, I didn't think he would do that, then you had no business having a dog. And I hate to say this, anyone that's out there that has any animal that know they're supposed to be responsible, then you're a fool because you should know better. The child don't know. The dog don't know. You know.
Right.
It's your dog. I could look. Let me tell you something. And I'm just going to say this because I love dogs. I don't care what kind of dog I have. My dogs are trained around children. My dogs learn to respect children and the vice versa. I put my dogs through such scrutiny training around my kids on purpose, from the tugging to the pulling of the tail. But I also teach my kids how not to do these things to this dog. Do not. If the dog's sitting around here and don't want to be bothered, leave it alone. And I agree with Sister Marie. A lot of these people now that have dogs should not have dogs because they don't train their dogs the proper way. They just figure, well, the dog's around. Oh, look, my baby poking the dog in the eye. Oh, look, they children. That ain't cute. The dog don't like that. That's teaching the
Right.
dog to actually dislike your child because you allowing it to happen. And these are things that some of these people are doing now with these dogs.
Right.
That's what
But
makes me angry. It's like, come on.
like I said, the sad part about it is this is what's going through my mind. We all sit around and say that our children are our future. And so if they're being unlive by 5, 6, 10, 13, what future do we have? What is our future? Because it's looking bleak to me. Because, you have the ones that innocently their lives are being taken away. And then you have the ones that it's so chaotic and miserable in their homes that whatever is going on in their homes, they're taking it outside. And then they become a threat. They become the threat. And so this is the reason why Sweet Lips and I continue to say we must find different ways to parent. Now let's just come off the dog because 5 and 3 years old, That's a tragedy within itself. And, our prayers really go out to the families that have lost their children. And I want to say senseless. It's just a senseless act there because we cannot get so relaxed that, oh, well, that dog been around her since she was born. It does not matter. Let me tell you something. My experience with my dog. Now, we had Tojo well over 15 years. And when I had my son, we brought the, well, and not me, because I'm not taking my newborn to show him to a dog. So his father took, and showed the dog the baby. He had little Junior in his arms, and he showed the dog to him and said, look. And the first thing Tojo did was growl. The very first thing that dog did was show jealousy. That was the first thing. And let me tell you what I heard after that. We had no more problems.
Yeah, that's that. Wow.
The first thing that dog did was growl. I had a friend. She would come over, always come over. This dog had seen her, I guess, through the door. Well, we were all outside, and she stepped outside. Now, mind you, he had seen her before. The moment she opened the door and stepped her foot out, he charged right at her. He didn't do it once. He didn't do it twice. He did it 3 times. I have had a daycare, and all of the kids have been around this same dog. There was one boy, I don't know what it was about him, but out of all those kids that was outside playing, he made a beeline, barking and growling just at that child. And so had I not been outside supervising these kids, there's no hello, Vivian. As a matter of fact, she the one the dog went after. He went after her not once, not twice, 3 times. And now he had seen her more than 3 times. But the moment she stepped her foot outside that door, 3 times on 3 different occasions, that dog made a beeline for her twice. If she didn't slam that door in the dog's face, he would have gotten her. Now, I say that to say this. When we think we know our animals right and left, up and down, something can trigger in them that anything. I don't know if it's the laughter. I don't know if the color of the clothes. You know what I mean? You just can't pinpoint what it is that would have made him go after her 3 times. She's always been kind to the dog. The little boy, he's been around, he was around the dog because, the daycare kids go outside, and I always said jokingly that he was after the boy because the boy was the only boy that was wearing flower shorts and a flower onesie. You know what I mean? So I used to make that joke like maybe he didn't like the flowers and, the boy had on flowers, but I don't know. But we just don't know. So to assume that we can leave our young children with these dogs that, they've been around the dog since, I don't know, but because they're not constantly being supervised, you don't know what that child is doing because they're going to be sneaky. They want to experiment. And the dog is not there for that. And you're right. So when you see your child pulling the dog's tail, biting on the dog, poking the dog in the eye, and all you're saying is, and you grab your phone and start videotaping it and you're uploading it thinking it's the cutest thing ever,
But also at a
then
certain time,
tragedy can strike.
yeah, when dogs do get old, just like
He
us
said he was
humans,
a true hater.
some dogs do actually can lose sense of thought as they get older. Some
Yes,
dogs that have they can lose sense of thought, even though they see somebody 1,000. I mean, you can own the dog and raise this dog, and then as this dog get older and older, and then actually growl at you, you be like, "What the heck?" And then they realize, like, "Oh snap! Oh." So dogs, just so us humans, as you get older, and dogs get older, they can lose it up here. But still,
right,
you're supposed to raise this dog right around kids. And if your
right.
dog ain't never been around kids, you can't just throw it in there just like that. It's like you just can't. I have never done that with any of my dogs. I just never. And first of all, I can put my kids on the floor. I can let them play with the dog. I can let the dog play with the kids. I give them food, tell them give the food to the dog. I tell them go take the food from the dog, and I stand right there while it's being done. If one little huff puff or if a teeth look like it's shining too much on my dog, he already know what's gonna happen. See, I'm doing the teaching right there and then. He already know. He'll be having soup. He only having kibbles no more.
Right. But that's the sad part about it is, let me see. Rivian said the dog was a hater. Marie says some dogs don't like when you're looking at them. And that's another thing too. Some dogs, they don't like it. They don't like it when you look them in the eye. And I don't know if they think that you're trying to challenge them. But Marie said, remember Sergeant, whoever Sergeant was.
I know who that was.
But, when it's all said and done, for a dog to maul your child, the cries are different when there is pain. How did you not hear it? But let me just say what the father allegedly quote, let me just say, you know what I mean? Because I know he's probably going through something right now. But the father said he was in his room with the door closed and he woke up at 8 o'clock and he went out there to check on this 3-year-old that was left to sleep on the couch and she was alive. Let me tell you something. Number one, if you are a hard sleeper, you have no business with your door closed. You have no business closing your door. If you have a 3-year-old and this is your first time having that child for any holiday, having a child, period, let's just take out the holiday. It is your job to sleep on that couch and put that child in the room. But at 3 years old, that's still a baby. I'm telling you, my child was sleeping with me. Hell, I had to kick him out the bed at 11, like no more.
I just want to say,
Your
I don't
child
understand.
unsupervised.
Allegedly, I just want to say, 3-year-old child is outside in the living room on the couch, and you in your room, the door closed. Shouldn't that child be in the bed with you laying next to you?
Yes.
Why are you got the door closed and the 3-year-old child is out there with this dog that don't know this child from a can of paint? I mean,
And
what
this is
kind
what I'm saying.
of
The
wow,
child, and if
wow.
that child woke up and hear that dog, first time the dog around the child, the first time the child around the dog, that child gets up. If that dog is startled, I have startled my dog before, and that dog jumped at me. And like Melvin said, it didn't jump no more, but you should know my scent by now. But 3 years old, or if that child, let me tell you what did happen one time at the daycare. And this is why I learned my lesson, and this is why I said no. I I was in another room and I put this child down for a nap. All the children were napping. This here one child got up, went outside, went around like the dog was laying behind the swing, went behind the swing, and jumped on the dog, and the dog bit him in the eye. The dog bit him in the eye. Let me tell you something. I had to call his mother and say, my dog bit your son in the eye. The mother said to me, he is fine. I have to put in my 8 hours. I thought my heart had sunk to the ground. Like, what did you just say? That he'll be fine. And he was fine. But the fact of the matter is, with a blink of an eye, a snap of the finger, that child is off because that child does not see no harm. But all the dog know is that you jumped on me. I don't know who you are. You are in my territory. This right here belonged to me. And so now you startled me and I bit you.
Yeah.
So that
but that's how
tells
it goes.
right
The
there,
dog, yeah,
never-
the dog
you
was
can't
startled.
leave
So
a
you're right.
child
Yeah. That's
unsupervised.
how it goes.
Yeah, you cannot leave a child unsupervised. Now, mind you, he was supposed to be asleep. He looked asleep to me. So I'm telling you, he and the rest of them, everybody was, I'm standing there looking. And so, that's what I said. You can never underestimate with a young child, and he was 4. You can never underestimate what a child would do. You can never underestimate what an animal would do, one that don't know the child. And for the one that's in LA, that 5-year-old that was mauled, let me tell you something. When I look at these videos of the animal, I don't care if it's pit or whatever, that you know what I mean? They're so aggressive, and that a child, the cry from when the child is hungry, a cry from when they're sleepy, and you for damn sure know what a cry with a pain. So where were you when all of that screaming and yelling was going on?
Why would you have a door closed? That's my thing is, what you closing a door for?
But they, the ones that was in LA, it seemed like, you know what I mean? All the body fluids was outside. So that happened outside. But that's what I'm saying. It's like when you have temperamental animals, you cannot leave a child unsupervised. And to me, any animal can be any dog, whether it be dog, cat. I've seen cats. That's why I don't like them, because they're sneaky. But even they were even attacked. I've seen my granddaughter, her cat scratching her up and biting at her. And I'm yelling, throw them across the room. If you come biting on me, you better get your wings because you're flying.
Cats can be just as worse as dogs. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's why I don't like cats like that.
We have to do better. We have to. Now, let's just move on to the 13-year-old girl that was online. And this is what I said. Sweet Lips and I have said before, when you have a child and that child is under the age of 18, it is your job to monitor their media, whatever they're doing on social media. You have to monitor that, because I don't understand how this grown man picked your child up, but it was someone that she was talking to online, and it was supposed to be in this alleged, quote, a room that people speak of different sex acts that they do. And so this guy picked this girl up to go do these sex acts with the girl, took the girl to his house, and then took the girl and put her in the woods and left her in the woods while he went to go celebrate Christmas with his family. Wow. He left her to go celebrate Christmas. And so when the mother, I guess she finally took a look at her social media activities and said she was talking to, I think the guy was like 29, 30 or something like that. She was talking to this guy and he was coming to meet up. I mean, I know that we all have to work 99 jobs to try to make it. But honey, if you ain't made it by now, you wait until January 20. If you're going to need 25, but we not going to go there. But anyways, all of a sudden, it is still your responsibility to monitor your child's interaction on across all social media. When you look at your child, you can tell by your child's behavior whether that's a fast one or not. Because if you think that these predators are not lurking, you are in for a rude awakening. And this is how we all of a sudden, I didn't know she was over here talking to this one, and I didn't know, she was all the way across town. And look at here. They have those tags, they have the Family Plus app, they have so many apps that you can monitor your child and know if they are where they're supposed to be. But to take all of that responsibility and put it on a child and say, you are responsible for yourself, you are wrong. You are wrong on all angles, from all positions. You are wrong. So, as we continue on saying and meaning that sometimes it takes a village, because, as I said on New Year's Eve, that we are going through a storm. We will go through the storm. We're in the storm now. We could be held in the eye of the storm. Political, spiritual, and financial. But if you choose to lay down and you choose to push that child out, you have a responsibility to your child to protect that child. It doesn't matter, oh, you don't need your look, because you know how, because we were all once teenagers. I don't need you watching over me all the time. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's a front. It's a front. It's like, you know what's going on in the world. You know what's going on in your area. You have to be more alert about your surroundings than your child, because they're dependent on you to protect them. And if you're constantly failing them, whether you're failing them because, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you're looking for a new man, you're looking for a woman, you want to go party, you want to get high, you want to do all these things that you look at the child as a roadblock. And so some of you out there are even committing the most heinous forms of child abuse that I've ever heard. And and it's almost sad. Like, if I didn't need it for business, like, I would not be doing the social media. Like, the officers came to this woman's house and she said, we have a report that your child have not been seen in over a year. This woman went on and on and on and on. And so suddenly, when the officer said, do you mind if we look around? She said, go ahead. Well, where did they find her child? In a barrel, like in a big trash can, in pieces. But you got other children in the house that you told not to go out in that garage. Why would you keep that child there? Like, what kind of animal are you? But then that goes back to being sick. Yes, Marie. That goes back to mental illness. We tend to not believe that there are such things, again, as demonic spirits. There are demonic spirits. If you think that the devil is done with any one of us, and if you believe that he will not continue to test and he will continue to take away from you until he breaks you down, that had to be something demonic going through that person's mind, that you had 2 to 3 other children and your house was neat. I mean, it was clean. That house looked like you can eat off the floor. And you sat there and you went on with this long, drawn out story. And the whole time you still had that body. I could not sleep in that house.
That's crazy.
I could not sleep in that house. Like, How are you sitting there going through your everyday life, going to work, coming home, taking care of the rest of the children? And what? What? And why? Look,
Wow.
I say that to say this. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. When I said on New Year's Eve that there's a storm coming, there's a storm coming. If you do not believe in your heart of hearts, for those who know the Bible, that the devil can take you up to that mountain, the mountain. To us, we read about it, and but how he took Jesus up there and tried to convince him that all that's out there, he can give it to him. You can't give me nothing that I created. I even created you. So you can't give me nothing. And if you don't believe that he can take you to that mountaintop and try to promise you this and promise you that, and you think you toying with him, well, I'll give you an answer tomorrow. Oh, maybe next week. Anytime that you engage with anything that is demonic, you are playing with fire. Because guess what? They will get your attention one way or the other. And what I have heard always is that even watch the people you allowing to come into your door, because those demonic spirits can come in. Be careful of who you are worshiping. Because, see, sometimes we like to play and worship, we want to worship the Most High, and then we want to worship Satan. We go through this battle, but when you're dealing with a jealous God and the Most High is a jealous God, you can't worship two people. You can't put no one above him. And so when you see these people, and this is why I said that we need to bring the village back, because see, the village is different now. The village is a little different than when we were coming up. So now in the village, when you see all of these things going on and you see that, these parents are struggling, you see that the children are struggling, really, it is our job to pray for them. Let's not just sit there, oh yeah, she lost her job, and oh yeah, he around the corner with the woman around the corner, oh yeah, they locked the kids out. Stop talking about it. If you cannot talk to change what's going on, if you cannot offer some type of help, and even though we come across some senseless, cruel people that you would be trying to offer them some help, and honey, the next thing you know, they're ready to fight you because they swear that you're in their business. You want to pray with them, but you don't want to come out and say, hey, your man around the corner, your woman around the corner cheating. So, hey, let's just pray for your relationship. They assume that you want that person. So we have to help make better choices. If you feel that there is an organization, that's why I say, when you come into any one of my lives and you hear what the topic is all about, and if there's any agencies that that you can refer to someone to, or just say, what, this here person pays the lights. Like I said yesterday, there's a storm going on. Do not get caught, with your bill not being paid. And the next thing these heartless people, oh, well, yeah, there's a storm, but they owe $50. Oh, they short $5. So we have to cut it off by law. Go to these agencies and help. If there's a church that can help pay the bill, tell them about it. And when someone's coming to you with a plethora of information, be grateful and be thankful. Don't always assume that somebody just wants to talk about you, even though we know that that's how the world is. That's the way we live our lives. That's what people in the flesh is doing. Like, stop trying to take advantage of one another. So we are in a time where our village is different. Jerry, could you hand me those papers that's in that printer, please? Our village is different because now we have to go against unseen spiritual forces. It's a spiritual warfare that we're going through. It's spiritual. Marie said, or be in their business. Oh, yeah, exactly. But what we also need to realize is that a lot of times these people are losing their way is because, the Bible tells us if someone does something wrong us any type of way, harm us any type of way, that we are to forgive them. And so if you don't have forgiveness, then your prayers are not being answered. Sometimes we're just going in circles because we are lost. And when you see that person is lost, just don't sit there and start talking about them like a dog. Offer some assistance. Sometimes they all they want to hear is a kind word or do a kind act. You see a family struggling. You have a little extra because let me tell you, we all going through it. We are all trying to make ends meet. But if we all come together as a community the way it used to be, we can help one another. But if I have it and you don't have it and I just want to laugh at you, then who am I? Who am I? And why do I believe that whatever blessings that I did have, that I will continue to get it? That's not how it works. That's not how it should work. That's not how it should work. Let me tell you, when I was coming up, you somewhere where you're not supposed to be, and you hanging with a group, and you over here cussing and acting the fool. Let me tell you, whatever adult that came by and they know your family, know your mama, your daddy, your cousin, or whatever, that snatch on the ear. Yep. Sometimes they'll even try to cuss you out and slap you up themselves.
Yep.
But that's another thing we need to get away from, always thinking that a beat down is the answer when it's not an answer. It is part of the problem. It is part of the problem because what we are showing our children is, I beat you because I love you. We try to equate pain and suffering and put it all into love. And that's not love. And what do? They go outside that door. Oh, you my girl, no, you know my guy, we together or whatever. And how many videos you see that they stand there cussing each other out, doing the knockdown, drag out, boot to the head, one to the rib. And then they go right back because this is the love that they have grown up with. This is what they've been taught, that love equals pain. And so when you be aggressive with them and lash out of anger, they go outside their door and they lash out of anger. And this is the reason why Sweet Lips and I keep saying we have to change the way we parent, because it's just not working. It's just not working. That's like the 15-year-old girl that went to school last month and unlived a teacher and another student. She was having problems at home again. The parents are split up. Her and the father didn't get along. And then what do? If you don't believe that Satan is grabbing a hold of your child to get your attention, and if need be, take that child away to bring you to your knees, you better keep on praying to the Father. You better keep praying. You better pray day in and day out. You leave your house, you pray for your kids. You at work, you start praying for your kids. Teach them how to pray. Teach them how. Because I would rather my child know the Lord during any last moments than to know hate their last moments. So we need to continue to change the way we are parenting our children. We need to foster this community and be that village that you can fall back on the way it used to be. But then be careful who's in your village. The responsibility falls on you as the parent. I said it before and I say it again. No child asked to be here. No child went to a store. No child wrote to Santa. No child wrote to the, God and said, please, just bring me into this world and let me go pick the parent. That was your act. That was your pleasure. And so, therefore, you owe that child. But the minute you give what you can to that child, if you make those mistakes and you know you've made a couple of mistakes, apologize. Apologize and let it go. Because we have grown children that's still trying to hold our feet to the fire about something, a mistake that we made. And it's like you telling me about my mistake and you still making the same mistake. But again, we need to get to the point, if you have went through any type of childhood drama and trauma, get counseling before you push a little one out. Because sometimes we just keep on with that generational curse and we just keep passing it down and passing it down, and there's no change there because we start to condone what is happening to the next generation until something happens and either they're in jail or in the grave, and then all of a sudden we all want to talk about what it could have, should have.
Mhm.
By then it's too late. So Marie said, yeah, sorry for you, because we just have, let me just tell you, you just have some that every single day and every second of their lives, they want to keep reminding you of what you did.
Mhm.
Once the Most High has forgiven you, no one can hold it against you. No one. And that is the reason why the scripture tells us that we are to forgive people that trespass against us, because we expect Him to forgive us for our trespasses. So I have this little prayer here that I just want to say for our children, for the parents that are out there that are going through it, and even the ones that are losing their children and their parents in this senseless war of territory. And when it's all said and done, it does not belong to you anyway. And where you should be wanting to go, you should want to take nothing of this world with you, because you are just merely passing through here. That's what you're doing. You're merely passing through. So the war, I want this territory over here. I want your gas. I want your technology. All this useless, senseless wars that's going on around this world, that we're still living in the days of the Romans. Oh, this is mine, and I want to rule it all. And when it's all said and done, it does not belong to you. And the things that you're fighting about Satan's territory. This is his world. And you're fighting for what? It is his. That is why he's enlivening everyone by the thousands and by the millions, because he feel like you disrespecting him by trying to fight. That's his oil. That's not your oil. That's his land. That's not your land. Nothing belongs to you. Nothing. Vivian said, that's like trying to rob a house I used to live in. I don't live there anymore. That's my response to anyone trying to take me. Right. Exactly. But you have everyone out here, all the governments. Oh, I think, oh my goodness, I forget. It's like the seven candles that represent the seven nations. Or go to my YouTube and Revelations. I did a lesson on Revelations. We need to realize something. What you are blessed with, you are to bless others. And Your prayers are being answered and what you're being blessed with, what you're being given at this moment temporarily, because what the Most High knows for sure is that what He has given you right now outside of knowledge, you cannot take it to His kingdom. You're not going to take that. You're not bringing any of it. You know, when they said, well, when you go, you can't take none of it with you. When you go, you can't take none of it with you. Marie said, yep, remember I spoke about that long time. Yeah, we can't take it because it's not ours. And what we're given just temporarily because we are just mere souls passing through this place. And so we're given a knowledge, and the choice is ours. Either we want to do good and be blessed, or we want to do what's evil and live in this world that's full of evil, that's full of hate. It's full of hate. And everybody is grabbing for something that does not belong to them. But see, this is the reason why we have to stay prayed up. And this is the reason why I read yesterday that when that storm was coming and the disciples woke Christ up and said, oh, we're all about to die. And he just looked and said, peace be still. See, they seen the waves, but what was behind the wave was that storm, that wind that was blowing. A lot of times, the opposition, the enemy, the demonic forces that are there controlling our minds. That's all it is a mind control. But we have to learn how to stand on faith, even in the moment of our pain, even in the moment of our pain, our trials, and our tribulations, and to know that there will come a day, no more sickness, no more crying, no more sorrow. You don't have to fight for anything because it'll all be free. It'll all be free. So let me just say this here prayer. Okay. Heavenly Father, in this time of deep sorrow and profound loss, we lift up to you the hearts of those grieving the unimaginable pain of losing a child. Wrap them in your comforting embrace, Lord, and grant them solace in their darkest moments. Fill their hearts with peace that surpasses understanding and remind them that their beloved child is a cradle in your eternal love. Help them to find strength in cherished moments and the moments of joy that they share. May they feel your presence, Lord, as they navigate through grief, whispering words of hope and healing to their weary souls. Surround them with a community of love and support and lead them towards gradual healing in the days to come. In your name, we pray for comfort and peace. Amen. And that is the prayer for all those who have lost, from the 5-year-old to the 3-year. I don't care, from as far as what the Bible said, as far as the east is from the west. If you have lost, even as a grown adult, if you have lost your adult child, we are praying for you. We are praying for you. Like, we can't say we know what you're going through, because unless you lose someone, you don't know. And we all grieve differently. But, here, unto the point 101, let's talk about it. And he first loved us, Sweet Lips and I, we are feeling it for you. And I am praying for not rapid healing, not, tomorrow you're good. No, but each day that pain lessens more and more, and you find a comfort in the Father, in the Son, and in the Holy Spirit, and then in family, because they are going to be the ones, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Those are the ones that's going to be available to you 24/7. People come and they go, but that love of the Father remains forever. It is Sledge and my little brother, So we lips, and there are 640 of you watching. And if you can just put a little heart, a little love on the video, which tells the algorithm that we're reaching out and you hear us. So if you can just take that time to just put some love on the video, we would really appreciate it. Okay,
Yes,
so
Lord.
we would appreciate it. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. So whenever we come live, you are more than welcome to just join us. I need to remember to put the link in so that if you want to speak live, you can. And to put the WhatsApp number, because the WhatsApp number you can call in for free. But I will remember next time to get that done. Again, we thank you all. You know, let the Lord continue to heal you. Let him heal you. Prayers work. Prayers work. Surround yourself with people that's very loving and speaking and praying around you and just wanting nothing more than that pain to go away. Okay? Because soon we will be in a place. This will never happen again. It just won't happen again. Not in this new kingdom to come. So I thank you all. Stay blessed. Sweet Lips and I will see you all
Love y'all.
tomorrow. As I always say, I don't know where you go, but you got to get out of here.
Love y'all.